Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you live. It is 2:30 Best Coast time. We are in the midst of watching Philippe versus Spavik, and so far so good on this fight with the heavy guys. It's been a back and forth rounds between the two of them, and even more impressive is in between the rounds, apparently one of them went up to the other one and said, "Hey, man, that was a really fun round. Let's do that again." So if we're looking at significant strikes on this, Spivak is well ahead, 38-1 in this round. This might be a 10-8, might not, but that's been kind of the tail of the tape thus far in. We're in the last minute 19 of this first prelim match of UFC Fight Island Dose. So because we're commemorating a fun night here of UFC Fight Companionry, I thought it'd be kind of an interesting night to make you guys part of the telecast, of course. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of the good stuff, we always appreciate if you guys give us all of that in the comments section, because you are a part of the show as well, a vital one, I might say. So just to let you guys know, that's kind of what we have on deck for this evening. Again, it's going to be a fun evening. Before we even go any further, I do want to tell you guys, if you have the opportunity to go and shop, buy yourself some new gear, because we all got a little fat with COVID, I would suggest that you guys go check out Nogi BJJ Gear. Buy yourself something fun, something nice. They've got plenty of stuff. They've got rash guards. They've got bundles, which have spats and shorts and you name it. They've even got fitness equipment, whatever you need. Go by there and use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15 to take 15% off of whatever you put in the cart. So obviously we're starting with you guys, and I'm very excited about this. I mean, with 4 seconds left, it's very nice to say that Spavak is going to make quite the impression to finish the fight. So that's where we're at on that. What else do I got for you guys? Obviously, it's a good way to remind you guys, if you are partaking with us, feel free to go ahead and grab a beer. Enjoy yourself. It is an important thing to do. I'm not saying go out there and get drunk every single night, but indulging every once in a while is a fun and nice thing. So while we are going live on our Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch accounts, I'd just like to tell you guys we're actually going to go live to our Instagram in just a second, but I always take care of you peeps first. Y'all are my peeps, so I want to make sure that you guys get any and everything. So I'm looking through the comments, and if I see stuff, I obviously bring it into the telecast. Moreover than that, if you give us a like and a share, we give you a full-blown cheers. That's right, we toast you on the show. So don't think you're not part of it. You're an active part. And today I'm starting off, actually I'm going to say this once I go over to Instagram, which is going to be right about now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope, and now we are live on Instagram. We are coming to you with all angles. We are covering tonight's UFC Fight Island Dose. I'm glad you guys are there. What is up, sir? Good to see you, twist you up. I'm actually going to try the beer that I have on display tonight. And what I have here, what's up, Chance? This evening, drink of choice is going to be George's Special. It is a chocolate banana walnut stout. Look at that. 28-28. Are we going to get a draw? 29-27. We have a winner. Yeah, there's no way that was not going to go his way. How the hell was that going to go? Jesus. Anyway, good to see you, sir. All right, here's my first drink of this. I have not had this one before. What's up, Jacob Harsman? Good to see you. Nope, switch. I'm trying to give you a wave, and it won't let me wave at you, Jake. So it switched my camera so that you got to see my lovely, microphone there. I did not have it 28. So cheers to everybody watching. Cheers to you watching here. It's not bad. It's not bad. Very light. A very light chocolate banana walnut stout. Here's the hard part about something like this, though. This literally has the words of things that I love. So in some way, I just kind of had to get it. I'm very excited. The next match is going to be Davi Ramos, who is 10-3, taking on Arman Tuksurian, and that is 14-2. So that is coming up, and you are seeing Davi Ramos is actually the underdog on this one, which you don't tend to hear a ton, especially in jiu-jitsu terminology. So throw your questions at me. What do you guys got? We have a long evening full of fighteries. So I want to go ahead and give you guys just a quick summary of what we'll see later in the night. So Davi's up next. Malcolm Gordon and Amir Elbazari. Then you've got Brett Johns versus Montel Jackson, Joseph Duffy, Joe Alvarez, Grant Dawson, Ned Namiri, Niramani. Sorry. Close enough. What's up, Alma? Then you've got Roman Delides versus Cadiz Imrimov. And then you've got Alexandre Pitahola versus Askar Askarov, which, by the way, still sounds like the fakest of names. If we're being completely honest, that'll be on the main card. So lots and lots more. We'll get more to the main card as we get there. But as per usual, my friends, my countrymen, my peers, the more that you guys want to chat during the live broadcast, throw some questions at me. I'm looking at you, Twitter, right now. I'm looking at you, Instagram, right now. Would love to hear what you guys thought of this past couple weeks of fights. What's up, El Pap? Good to see you, sir. Miss you a lot. Davi Ramos, dude. This dude is one of the few people to get a flying armbar over at the ADCC major competition that we know and love here in grappling. So very excited to see it. What's up, Monteromero? I don't know. I just burst through your name. Montero. Okay. I did closely resemble it. I just saw it in passing as I was looking at some of the Davi Ramos highlight reel badassery. Very excited to see him, man. He's one of those guys who, when he was competing in jiu-jitsu and I saw he was doing more and more MMA, I just said, we're going to lose this guy. But I root for him to do well in this realm. So that way we look good by comparison. So that way when we go to bars and we tell people we do UFC, they believe us more and more. And I love the fact that he is nicknamed the Tasmanian Devil. So to go over a little bit more of their kind of fight records, I want to tell you, Davi Ramos' last fight was actually a loss, a decision loss to Islam Makhachev. And, that was a little bit of a stunt in the momentum, but he's got a nice series of wins that he's put up here. He's got 3 submission wins in the UFC already, and then he's got 1 decision win and 2 decision losses thus far in. So a fan favorite of all of ours here at the Grappling Hour. I'm going to ask you guys, because I also have to change the branding at the bottom over here because we're getting ready for Davi. So we have a policy on the show, which is if they get a fight finish or there is some kind of submission, knockout, we do a cheers. We toast them. But if you guys like and share on Facebook, we give you a toast as well. So just reminding you of that. And if you guys just want to give us hearts on Instagram, I see those things go up all the time. It makes us feel so special and so happy to see you guys give us the love. That is what we're starting off with here. I'm also trying to get a good rain. I'm going to take a second drink of this. Let's see if it gets a little bit better. It's so weird because the banana and the chocolate is so subtle. Like compared to so many of the stouts that I've had at a higher alcoholic beverage content kind of leverage, this feels like one of the lightest, little breeziest drinks I've had. I can't tell if that's going to be deceptive later throughout the evening. But I wish there was just a little bit more flavor in it. But of course, more flavor means more fat. So kind of hard to pick and choose your battles over here. Let's see. I'm going to put this over on the Facebook of Verbal Tapperies. It's been an interesting week of fights for the UFC, mainly in the fact that we've watched so many events. We watched the last UFC 251 within the past week. There was the UFC Fight Island 1, which, by the way, is the hashtag that they're using on these things, which is kind of weird. Like looking around and seeing them refer to this as UFC Fight Island 1, UFC Fight Island 2. Like it's so ridiculous and weird. It makes me wonder, like, are we going to see more of these Fight Islands? Like, how long is this going to go on for? I like that Quibi also tries to do whatever it can to try and make me use it, but so far, so no on whatever they've got. Not buying it, my friends. Unless I get a show on Quibi, then at which point you're all required to get one. So don't get too full of yourselves. I'm just telling you, as it is right now, not many programs I want to see. Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart, kind of used to it at this point. Can see it in every one of his movies, any one of his 9,000 television specials. Good for now. What's up, everybody? Come join us for some fight companionry. All right. Shared. Well, thank you for the hearts. I find it only mildly ironic that I'm getting a whole bunch of hearts for hating on a heart, but I'll take it. Both of these gentlemen weighing in at 156. The reach is in Arman's favor. They're 23 and 33. But if you look at Davi Ramos's body, that does not look like a 33-year-old's body. 5'6" and 5'7" with a slight advantage to Arman as well there. That's what this fight is looking like. We're getting the introductions out of the way, and then we'll be going straight into the fight. Here's what I would like to see in this one. I would love to see our good friend Davi Ramos impose a little bit of game, look for a takedown early here, and see if he can put this away earlier than later, because Arman's record is good. And one of the things I have seen in the past with Davi is that he continuously wants to test his stand-up, which more power to you, bud. I just know that in terms of all of us wanting to go home way quicker, it would be so much nicer if we can just do that. What's up, Gio? Good to see you, bud. I don't know if you've been training. I think everything's shut down again. That's right. I was going to ask you that. Crazy. If you are watching the UFC this evening, would love to hear you guys' thoughts, concerns, hints, allegations. We are seconds away from starting round number 1. I'll walk you through it as best as I can. And here we waiting for it. Go. Boom. Round 1 starts now. All right. You've got Ramos in the black trunks and Saskarian in the red with the slit in them. So on this side, just to give you guys an idea of Arman's previous history, it was supposed to happen actually on the April 11th card. So it looked like they were supposed to be scheduled to fight at the famed UFC 250. That was supposed, or 249. That was actually supposed to be Khabib and Tony. What weird problems we had back then. But of course, that has been rescheduled to now, so it's almost 3 months later than they were anticipating fighting one another. And Taskarian already doing a nice job, spinning back kick, doesn't really connect there. Ramos responds with an overhand right. Starts to circle on the inside right now for Ramos. Gets a nice crack with his right hand over on Taskarian. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he does have some more hands than I've been thinking of. But he is finding those angles nicely and quickly. What is up, Gabe? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your day. I want to say a big shout out to Giancarlos, a.k.a. G-Baby. Is not funny. You are funny in my heart. Don't tell yourself any different. 3:40 left to go in this first round of 3. And here's what I liked. Ramos on that one leads with an overhand right and then immediately goes for a single takedown. Doesn't get it, but pushes Taskarian against the cage. So I do appreciate thus far in. And just to remind you guys, if you give a like and a share on the broadcast, we give you a toast on air. So do not forget that. If you're watching on Instagram, give us some hearts, give us some moons, give us some whatever lucky charms they have on that one. I'm not quite sure. 3 minutes are on the clock still as we go. What's up, honey? How good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. Ooh, nice spinning back fist that was home for nobody. Zakarian gets a nice takedown now. You see Ramos working with the guard with one butterfly hook in and one leg over on the back. This is a little open guard that, for a split second, it looked like he might be able to get a triangle here. Now you're seeing Ramos going into not panic mode, but very quickly trying to respond to how quickly Cesarian is working off of this. What's up, Frets and Alves? Good to see you. Hope you're watching tonight's fights. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm walking you through as best I can right now. 2:23 left to go in this first, and you're seeing right now in the most unconventional of ways, David Ramos trying to work under pressure and continuously looking for a triangle in the worst of spots. He's also at the same point trying to neutralize the arms with great wrist control. Wish I could. For a split second, look for an omoplata and has to fall back. Now you're going to see him try to maybe make something happen here, but this is a tiring position to be in. This is continuously draining while at the same point making you just work and carry more of somebody else's weight as we go. Thanks, man. All is good. Hope your weekend is going well. Appreciate you doing these companions. Hey, man, it's good practice. It makes us happy to do them. It's always great to see friends, chat with you guys, have drinking buddies, all that good stuff. Cheers to you, sir. So if this is the case, you're already seeing, despite some solid strikes to begin with for Ramos, you will see this likely go Sakarian's way in this very first round. So it'll be interesting to see how this continues and progresses throughout the evening. I've also made compliments to the drink of the evening, which is the chocolate banana walnut stout from George's, which, by the way, super light. I knew at 6.5 it was going to be a little risky to see how it was going to be. I thought it might have a little flavor to it. It's not bad. I actually gave this to a friend, and I was drinking it today. And now I want to text that friend and be like, I'm sorry I gave this to you. I thought it would be more delicious. Because in my head, there's nothing I love more than banana cake. So, womp womp. Back up on the feet now. Ramos, I think he might look a little bloody. I just can't tell. I'm going to have to get a look in between the rounds. Just the face a little red, a little bruised. Nothing too crazy. We got 15 seconds left to go in this first round. Two of them dancing around. A nice crack again by Ramos, who kind of trips. Has to hold up against the cage for a split second. A beautiful up kick by Sakarian, who just kind of smiles as he backs up now. And we will exceed time for this very first round. We take a short break on the telecast, but we don't go anywhere. We talk with you guys the entire time. I can narrate the commercials I see, but I think that's kind of boring, so I won't do that. In any event, you guys look like you are a lovely audience today. I want to say hello and what's up to you guys all everywhere. I'm going to also be trying to do my best to check on our YouTube pages. We basically stream this on all of our platforms. So if I ever miss a comment, if I don't acknowledge something, slide in my DMs, just let me know. I'm more than happy to integrate you guys as part of the broadcast as well. Keeps me young. All this chatting about fighting reminds me of the days I used to train heavily, which is not now. Because, man, trying to train now is difficult. Everybody's got to pretty much stay home with the coronavirus. For the most part, all of us want to be training more. And some people aren't even, really even training, even if they have the ability to. They kind of want to let things die down for a little bit. So whatever your circumstances are, I totally understand. So I guess they were giving compliments over to Armin. And they said that when he basically was able to get a takedown on Ramos, that he landed a very nice right hand of ground and pound, and that got Ramos's attention. I would argue, a lot of it got his attention. Usually the part where you get taken down will get someone's attention. Nice timing by Ramos. He blocks a spinning back fist, responds, and just in the nick of time, Sakarian is able to go ahead and block it. Very beautiful exchange between the two gentlemen right then and there. Good kick by Ramos. Now starting to back around, going towards the back of the cage. One of the things very nice to see about Sakarian right now is he's able to back up and then immediately reload and stock up so that he can create an onslaught that sometimes Ramos blocks for the most part of them, but what he doesn't block is necessarily the small little foot sweeps that happen when he gets on the inside here. It's a very interesting strategy, especially with the grappler. You keep just enough distance to kind of throw him off offset their balance. And now Ramos is kind of getting wise to it. He's now starting to charge in a little bit more, saying, listen, the more I plant my feet, the more ability you have to start making things way, way more difficult for me. It's a very intriguing strategy thus far in. Now I'm starting to see a little remnants over on Sakarian. He's got a little, not super color to his face, but it's looking again a little bit red. Ramos's hands drop just ever so slightly, which might be a problem for somebody like Sakarian, who has the ability to continuously find his things, his hands there. I also want to point out here, both of these gentlemen, this is a very odd sort of statistic for the two of them, potentially why they matchmaked this for the two of them. They both have losses to Islam Makeshift, which I think is part of the reason why they wanted to do this. What's up, D. Strauss or DS Tross 8? Good to see you. So it looks like Islam is kind of the connecting factor in terms of an opponent. Ramos now begs him to bring it on to him. Literally looks as he's in middle of getting struck down, and beautiful takedown. But Sakarian, now you're seeing an invert for a split second. Are we going to see, for a millisecond, we saw a knee bar attempt from one W Ramos, who then split it over, tried to pass the leg over, didn't get much with it. Now the two of them are pummeling up against the cage and exchanging back and forth. A nice little hit by Sakarian as he backs up to the center of the cage. Ramos is looking not depleted by any of this, but you got to figure getting a takedown on a jiu-jitsu guy has to take away at least one of the weapons. Now, coming back from all of these, this is an interesting one in the sense that you would think that the jiu-jitsu black belt is going to have a huge advantage here, but that's not to overseed some of the very impressive resume of one Armin. Armin has submission wins, got guillotine, rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke wins in his previous pro battles. And you see it with his ability to pick his shots for his wrestling. I would love to hear more about his ability as a wrestler. In his amateur, he's also been able to win some Russian cups. And I mean, it's no stress, but I mean, getting a takedown on Davi Ramos is impressive. He has my attention, if not my curiosity at this moment. 1:15 left to go in the second round. Both the gentlemen, Ramos is now fully putting his arms down, dangling his head like it's two dice off of your rear window. On this one, it's evened out a little bit more. Ramos is 19 strikes to 22 for Sakarian. And then at the same point in the first round, Sakarian, I mean, he was just so further ahead. I mean, here's the part. If you're Davi Ramos's corner, you almost kind of want to yell this out and be like, bro, you need to try and take this round. With those takedowns, you need to be ahead on the striking. I mean, again, part of that comes from Ramos' strategy of maybe trying to counter off of him here. This time he stuffs a takedown, but with 16 seconds, this may not be enough. Nope, does not stuff the takedown entirely, because all of a sudden, in between trying to get a single leg, he lifts the leg all the way up, tries to heist it all the way up, and then for his measure, when he is able to plant, does a high kick to end the round. All right, we go to the third and final round in just a second. I would assume those are 2 rounds for Armin to 0 for Davi Ramos. It's a rough one, man. I was saying earlier that I was hoping that Ramos would not want to overseed his striking and maybe work on trying to get the takedown game here or get a jiu-jitsu game going here, but I think that's going to be very hard to implement with this opponent. It's proving very difficult for how good we are seeing Armin's takedowns look, how he mixes it up very nicely. It's a hard day at the office, my friends. I swear to God, sometimes I have that Home Depot song stuck in my head. So whenever I see these commercials and they play it, it mostly comes from all the Spotify that I refuse to pay for. I'm not paying for premium. What am I, a millionaire? No, thank you. So whenever that happens, I just hear that promotional ad with that music for Home Depot playing over and over again. So these are first world problems. I know you can relate. Both of these guys exchange pleasantries right in the center and go straight to work. And you see in no time flat, Sakarian working very difficult, starting to unload a little bit more. Now his hands are coming a little bit more free. This is why I really like Armin looking very composed, trying not to let what seems like a little bit more urgency out of Davi Ramos knock him off his game, though I think he might have taken a knee. He basically, I think, got kneed and is readjusting his cup, but he does it in the most roundabout way I think I've ever seen somebody do it, which is just to grab the section of his cup and rearrange it while still in the fight and skipping away. So there's that. What is up, Lanikos and Denholm? We are watching UFC. We hope that you are as well. If you're not, don't worry. I got you covered. If you are, I mean, I've kind of got you covered here too. It says Sakarian was a negative 1,000 fave entering the final round live wagering. I mean, that is not a surprise. So I'm none too surprised by any of those informational statistics being popped up on the screen right now. I do appreciate the UFC doing more of that live tweeting. Before I wasn't sure, but it does bring a certain element, especially when there's no audience. I've seen them do it, for the past few years, but I think it's one thing that's really setting us apart as a sport is having the ability to have live interaction. Ramos having a slight moment of frustration, puts both hands down. Oh, I can't tell if he just either lost his balance or got a nice hit and had to back up. Nope, still shrugging it off and using it almost as a means to try and get to the body. Takes a blow, blocks it maybe just a smidge late, and you're seeing Sakarian very nicely shred through most of his defense of keeping his hands up here. Says Manny Gamburian chimes in and says 2-0 Armin, let's go. I think that is accurate, Manny. Nice 1-2. I can't tell if Ramos has switched stances at all, but his body language is just a little dejected. Nice. I mean, here's the hard part is I think that when you've implemented a couple strategies and you've tried to win the striking exchange and you don't find yourself to be able to doing that, you start to maybe get so to the point where you coast a little bit more and you leave yourself open in doing so. Because now, even as he leaves himself open, he's getting hit fairly well. I mean, these are very technical hits that Armin's doing. And now I just don't see Ramos responding the same way. He definitely wants all that smoke, but even his own strikes look a little disjointed here. I wish this was a better strategy, but if you look at his face, he is now starting to get busted up. So even if he's absorbing them, his face isn't absorbing them the same way he thinks they are. I mean, it's kind of rare that you see someone who openly invites you to try and break their nose in such an aggressively violent way. Jesus. Well, 133 left to go. I don't know that I see Davi doing much here. What is up, Aaron Rainmaker? Or is it Aaron times Rainmaker? Because there's the Aaron X Rainmaker. I know my math, and I know I'm supposed to do order of operations, so I'm supposed to do multiplication before I do anything. Lovely striking by Sakarian, by Nicholas. Can't really see her. Hold up. They're separating the fighters again. I wonder if it's a low blow. Oh. I think they're checking on Davi. He's looking a little out of it, so I'm going to go ahead and pop on the sound just to hear. It's the cut above the eye. The referee asks if he's ready to continue. Points at the ground. Ugh. Okay, we resume for the last couple minutes of this. I mean, yeah, dude, this is what happens when you open up your face to be struck in such an aggressive way. Like, Arman, even if he's not knocking you out here, dude, it is impressive. Now you're seeing Davi start to implement what I was hoping he would have been able to do in the first round. However, I think maybe that he's so tired he can't get a takedown here. Zakarian keeps his balance and now pushes Ramos with force back against the cage. With 30 seconds, I wouldn't. Oh, no. Goes in for a single leg. Now, Davi was trying for a guillotine. That's a good, annoying grip. Like, it's strong, but it's in that. He's in topside with that grip, which almost opens us up for a Von Flute. Now you see Arman back in the half guard. Get some up kicks, which are just kind of like Liu Kang up kicks. So just kind of little bicycles. And Davi goes with the flying kick to end it. What's up, Matt Holt? Buddy, I haven't seen you in so long. How have you been, man? Well, that was a rough one to watch if you're a Davi Ramos fan. But if you enjoy Arman, that was quite an impressive display by him. What's up, Mike John? Did you go yet? How'd things turn out for you, sir? I was hoping more for Davi on this one. I didn't love him keeping his face out that exposed for the duration of the fight and then not really doing much to take out his opponent here. It was always the roughest to watch. So, hi. Good to see you, sir. Glad you're doing well. Let me see if I can get you guys some information or some updates from the interwebs. That's one of the best parts about doing this is entertaining how all of this is going. I like that somebody responded to my saying Ariel was giving shit to Ben Askren. Ben Askren said that he'll be the biggest media personality soon over Ariel. So it's come to this. I have to root for Ariel Helwani because Ben Askren is the worst. I won't have it. Put that on a t-shirt because it is fact. What's up, Jordan Jitsu? How are you doing, sir? Oof. I mean, as it goes on, I am progressively enjoying this a little bit and a little bit more. I just wish it had a little flavor. I definitely taste the walnut aspect of it. I'm just going to see if I heard that right. Was that 29-28 they said? Because no. Definitely should have been a 30-27 if that was the case. I'll go back and look at the stats, but think we're going to just keep the progressions going. Malcolm Gordon and Amir Alwazari coming up next. So mark that on your calendars, kids, because I know how much you're entertained by these guys. Let me see here. Somebody, I think, yeah, this is the buddy coming back and saying, don't you at least like his hair? But yeah, he's always looking for the next slice of social media engagement. He just sucks, dude. Forever and always. Just letting you guys know. Ben Askren super sucks. If you don't think so, you're wrong. That's it. What's up, Bunick or Bunnick 15? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on the telecast. Hit us up with your questions, comments, hints, concerns, allegations, all of that good jazz. I will be incorporating your comments into the telecast. So you do not want to go anywhere. You do not want to be anywhere else. You want to be with us. It's going to be a long night. We've got Fight Island Dose. What are they going to do with this thing? If they just built this dome, this is supposed to be the backup plan if Vegas closes down more due to COVID, that they're just going to stay here. So I just wonder how long you're going to keep Fight Island up and operational, I guess, is the main question so many of us have in the media. Let me see here. ESPN MMA. Gordon Alzari. That is what is coming up very shortly. I'll see if I can give you guys any quick little notes here. What is up, Rubber Guard Assassins? I was just talking about you on air because you were messaging me. I didn't name you by now, until now, but now I name you. You were the guy talking about Ben Askren. So to our people who are watching on our media channels, who I was saying Ben Askren sucks, that's who I was responding to. So I like the fact that we've got friends international. Oof. Jumping backwards with a rear naked choke is a choice, my friends. Malcolm Gordon. I see. It's Malcolm X Gordon versus Amir the Prince Alwazani. Okay, I mean, I like the name, the Prince, for Amir's name, but Malcolm X, it's okay. I do love the fact that Malcolm, though, has been able to get a rear naked choke. He might have my early vote for somebody who I'm endorsing on this one. If you guys want to do us a solid, give us a share on your Facebook and a like. We give you a toast like we do those who get fight finishes on the main broadcast. So, Rubber Guard Assassins, what have you been up to, dude? Are you back to training yet? I know everybody's in different places. I thought you were. I know you had to take the time off. You were one of the first people impacted by this, internationally known. But I hope you're back to training, sir. If you're not, I take it back. I'm sorry I brought it up. This is one of the ones that kind of caught me off guard, is that there's a Francis Ngannou put up a post, and I'll put this on for all of our people on our other media channels, that basically was telling The Rock, yo, I've been getting ready for our training session, The Rock, and it's Flex Friday. To which The Rock says, the Iron Paradise awaits, brother. The future UFC heavyweight champion and the people's champion will finally join forces. Post-workout tequila on me. So this is why it's unfair to be this big. Like, I don't go after a workout and have tequila. But if you're The Rock, it is allowed because your body is basically built by science. Either way, The Rock's awesome. We love The Rock, so I'm not going to give him too much shit. But just wish I could, The Rock. This is, you know how many rounds I had to do just to have this? This is a hard day at the office, my friend. As it is, with it already being so, all I can think about is, yeah, you know, I wish it was that. We're back at training. Gyms are open. We love The Rock. Of course we love The Rock. We love The Rock versus Stone Cold. We love The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan. We love The Rock manhandling a torpedo in the Fast and the Furious and changing its directions with his bare hands. Like, we love The Rock. But, you know, occasionally we wish he read his scripts a little bit better and that he maybe picked some other movies. But that's fine. I'm just saying, you know. I think The Rock and Hugh Jackman are two actors that do not read their scripts all the way. Because, like, every once in a while they luck out. And, like, for every Logan we get from one Hugh Jackman, we get a Kate and Leopold where you go, did you read that? Did you read Van Helsing? I get The Prestige. That makes sense. Chris Nolan calls me up. I'm doing whatever he asks me. But, Wolverine Origins? All right, Malcolm Gordon. He is 30 years old, 5'7", 135, 71-inch reach, which is an advantage over Emil Albazari. Is 68. He's 136 on the weight and 5'5", and he is at the age of 26. So just a few years younger. The experience versus the slightly more experience is what we got coming up here. This dude is mean mugging the fucking camera, bro. We're not fighting you. Amir fighting out of London, England. He is the odds-on favorite. I guess you can tell that because he stares at the camera with all intensity of he's been there before. However, Malcolm is now stalking back and forth. Like he has a presentation he has to give, and he's psyching himself up. He fights out of Ontario, Canada. He's the underdog at plus 125, 12-3 record. While we have a second, let's see if we can look that up and see he's fighting. Because guess what? On Wikipedia, he don't got shit on there. So it's important for us to get a quick sense. Thank you, Capology. Let's learn ourselves some quick information. He's number 1 out of Michigan, number 2 in the Midwest, and number 7 in all of the active pro flyweights. So just to tell you that much information. He has a win over Michael Jordan. I assume that's not the same guy. We start with kicks. We're already at the fight, 4:50 on my clock, just to let you know, in case you are ahead or behind me. And already Gordon trying to impose the pacing to start off this fight. Ozari ducks for a split second, tries to come over with his right hand, doesn't get anything on it. Gordon covers up with the hands, and nice uppercut by Ozari. Or Albazi? Nah, whatever. I want to call him Albazari. I like that name better. Good kick. What I like about Albazi is that he is able to just start picking apart the hands. Like every time you see Gordon start to put his hands up to defend himself, to make sure he's going to absorb most of the blows, you see Albazi doing a really good job of circumventing it or going straight through them. It's impressive to watch, actually. Ooh, good crack over by Gordon. Tries to come in with a cross, doesn't quite hit it. Another uppercut by Albazi. Let me see. How long until we get to the main card? It looks like they said the main card starts at 5 p.m., so we are flying through this thus far in at fairly decent speed. Good kick over there. Great single leg by Albazi. Though this might actually favor into Gordon's plans. Let me go ahead and see what I got for you on this one. I'm going to look up quick information about Amir. I've never really, I'm not all that familiar with Amir, but this is where we get to learn the people, my friends. This is where we all get to come together and find out why the Prince is 12-1. We get to see that, yes, he has his last win. Well, actually, that's really bad if he's going to be in guard then. He's actually got some advantages on his own. His last win was over Ryan Curtis at Brave CF's 29. He also won with he lost a decision to Jose Torres or Shodi Tori, I believe. And then he's got wins, rear naked choke, Kimura, rear naked choke, punches, elbows, and punches, and a Kimura as well with his previous records. He's fought on some Scandinavian cards. He's also a Bellator vet, fought at Bellator 179 and 200. And you are seeing him right now on screen in the middle of half, but looking very comfortable in terms of working to pass Gordon's guard. He seems very calm. He's in a little bit of a lockdown situation, but he's not really that concerned because he's using the opportunity to drop a couple of elbows to make life a little uncomfortable for Gordon. So now he's going to circle back around. He's in a little bit of a half guard now, some full mount. Gordon is maybe giving him some time to work. He's peeked over into high mount now. You're seeing Gordon act a little bit more urgently on this one. He's trying to turn over. He's getting a couple punches to soften him up a little bit. And now you're seeing slowly but surely Albazi is just close on almost falling off, but does a good job of riding it out. Gordon, though, comes out on top. Now you're seeing Albazi start to lock up what could be a triangle here. The triangle is very close. He's adding in some elbows over on this side. Now he's starting to squeeze in ever so slightly. He might be able to pull this one off. He just has to control the arms. He's pulling on the head, and it does look like Gordon is maybe thinking about tapping, but he gets it. Wow. Gordon literally just passes out on the ground from exhaustion. And now you're seeing Albazi go over and seem to plead with Dana White. He gets a flag thrown at him. Where's the flag? Starts to make a couple laps around the cage. Impressive. So now we're going to take a look at this with a little bit more. Yeah, when you see Gordon basically get out of this guard, this recovery of Albazi is really impressive. This triangle is maybe at not the most perfect angle that you need to have it at, but between that and a very aggressive pull on the head, he is able to make up for a lot of lost leverage that he might need here and just make it so uncomfortable for Gordon. He gets the tap. Big congrats to him. That's pretty impressive, man. All right. They're going to be coming back. They'll give him his props. We'll give him a cheers. Maybe we'll do it now. We'll figure it out. All right. As we are live on these channels, I'm going to do a quick solid and go on over to our YouTube page, see if we have any questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations from our friends watching over on that side. And to all of you guys who are watching, do us a solid. Hit us up with your questions. Hit us up with your comments. You guys are part of the show. So if you guys suck in the comments, then the show might suck. So just remember, you're equally responsible. Your comments have equity on this podcast. However, you don't make money. So it's not real equity. It's like monopoly money. Equity is, I guess, what it comes down to. What can I tell you? I could tell you that if you do make any purchases of new gear, you should go on over. Support our friends over at No Gi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15 to get 15% off of whatever you put in the cart. We now go to the official decision as we will give props and maybe potentially interview him. I don't know if they're going to talk to him. I don't know how this is going to go. This is a very international friendly card, so it'll be interesting to see who gets selected to talk, as they need to get through with at least, I think it's 4 more prelims before 5 p.m. is when I believe we go to the main card. They call him Albazi. I still like Albazi. I don't know. You guys can say it however you want. It's going to be a selfie, though. They bypass the selfie. They go straight outside the gate. It looks like we are following him. He gets a nice dance. I'm gonna give some acknowledgement to that nice little swag step that he does as he gets out of here. Jesus Christ, I know, right from up top, right when he cracks Gordon. They're basically saying it doesn't matter what belt you are, you can still get someone to tap. All right, they're going to basically talk to him. I'll give you guys a summary of what they're saying to him. Paul is getting the lead to go ahead and ask this evening. Says he's been waiting for the opportunity since he was 14. Says being there and getting a win feels almost unrealistic. Wow, that's the first triangle choke of 2020 for the UFC. He says he's also been really good at triangle chokes since he was 14. Good problem to have. What's up, Poppy and G.A. Bollinger? Good to see you on the show here. He says the ground is this ocean. He says he didn't feel any threat on the ground. So Paul's asking how quickly can we see you back in? And he says he wants to go back as soon as possible. He has 8 first-round finishes, everybody. Oh, Karen Bryant's back at work. Thank God. It's about time they fucking put her back to work. So right now, Karen's backstage as Brett Johns is warming up. I believe he will be coming up next. So let's go ahead and switch what our little branding says over here so that way you guys are all set when that happens. Montel Jackson with a record of 9-1. He has the second most takedowns in a UFC WCEC bantamweight fight at 11. Pretty impressive. That is coming up next. Very excited for that fight. I hope you guys are excited. Thus far in, I think we're all seeming to enjoy ourselves. This has been the hardest part about doing these things is that we see them go back and back. What's up, Timmy? And it's very difficult to almost keep up with how many goddamn fights they've had in the past few weeks. This is what? Their third card in 8 days or so? Actually, 7 at this point. Plus, last week, it was a whole combat sports weekend. We had Submission Underground. We had Polaris. We did Fight Companions for those. That was a lot of fun. Tomorrow, there's going to be Jiu-Jitsu Overtime. The closest thing that we've had that resembles a game show here in Jiu-Jitsu. Because, you know, if you didn't hate overtime enough for EBI rules, get ready for just that. It's the ultimate rear naked choke shootout is what they're calling it. And that's some weird-ass branding, if you ask me. So here's what we have to do. We do have to do a toast. I do realize that. What do we say? What's up, Bobby? The toast. This one is going out to Amir, the Prince Albazi. Hey, man, congrats to you on that triangle choke win. Who knew you were going to be the first triangle choke of 2020? I mean, granted, you know, some shit happened this year. That's not important. Let's not take away from your win. I want to say the triangle looked great. You were able to contain it. Your control was immaculate. And I got to say, man, the dance moves, the little swag you had at the end, sealing the deal. We endorse you here at the Grappling Hour. Congrats to you, the Prince. Boom. What's that, dude? We're just sitting here watching the prelims thus far in for the UFC. There is a fight card. It is UFC Fight Island Dose. For those of you watching internationally, thus far, not bad. We do have one clear, definitive finish. It says that's the best shirt. It's one of my favorites, dude. I know you've seen me wear it before. This is from our good friends over at The Union Designs, who just designed some badass masks that, you know, I might actually have to go and get one. I don't really have any novelty masks. I get them for functionality. Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus. I think it might be on ESPN or ESPN Plus. I don't know. But yes, they have some novelty masks, and their novelty mask at the Union Design that I was thinking about buying is they have the Ninja Turtles. Once I saw that, I was like, damn, dude, I think I got to get one of those. Because, like, I'm a Raphael. I should have a Raphael fucking Ninja Turtle mask. So we'll see. But I would highly encourage you guys to go out there and support them. They do great work. They've also, I want to make sure to bring to your attention, let me see if I can find on this one, a good friend of mine. This dude is awesome. Jordan. He has Love Movement. He's got a brand that basically goes to help impoverished kids in Kenya get schooling, have clean water. And it's called the Love Movement. And I would highly encourage you guys to go ahead and do that. They also do weekly drops of food and clothing to the homeless here in Los Angeles. A great nonprofit. So just to give you guys a little thing, it is the Love Movement. They've got plenty of shirts. They've got tank tops, all these different things that you can do to support. All of the proceeds go towards helping that nonprofit charity. So if you get a chance, it is called the Love Movement. The t-shirts and the clothing are, I think, $30 each. And then I'm not sure if they're doing masks as well, but that is being endorsed and put together by our good friends over at the Union Designs have helped them. So big appreciation to our friends over at the Love Movement. How do you say that name? Is that Cowl Lenore? I don't know. Cowl Lenore? I don't know your name, so I'm just going to mess it up. You're welcome. All right. What is up, Chucky? Thank you for watching the show. I'm going to give this another share if you guys are watching on our Facebook. If you give this a share and a like, we give you a toast on air. Coming up next, Brett Johns, Montel Jackson, a very good fight that promises to entertain or not. I can't be held responsible for that. If it's a fight that sucks, you know it's not my fault. Join us as we watch some prelims of UFC Fight Island 2. Boom. Now that's gone up. Anyway, my questions for you guys are as follows. 1, are you excited for the fights tonight? Is there any fight in particular that you are excited for? 2, what do you expect to be the craziest fight of the evening? And 3, are you guys drinking anything? Because if you're not drinking anything, I feel like an alcoholic because I'm the only one drinking right now. I realize that's more internally what I'm going through and that it may not pertain to you, but it should. You should feel like you should drink something. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. My name's Rafa Esparza, host of the Grappling Hour. We're biding our time as we wait for Brett Johns and Montel Jordan. I would also encourage you guys to go ahead and check out today. There's some Sapatero qualifiers that are happening with friend of the show and fellow panelist. 1, Josh Starlord LeDuc. What's up, Lucas Ochoa? Give us a like. Give us a share. We give you a toast on air, just like we did for the Prince. The guy who gets it done with the triangle, the first triangle choke of the year, Amir Albeza. And I think they spell it wrong on that one too. Damn, dude. No respect on that name. Sucks. All right, let me make sure I'm making this. Lucas Ochoa, you're just a badass. Preach. Davison, Figueroa fighting. Joseph Benavidez tonight in the main event. They are already in the octagon, so there's not much to do here. Largest proportion of control time in UFC bantamweight history at 49.5% for Brett Johns. Now we're going to see Michael Jordan out. Michael Jordan's already in the cage, so he's there. Or I'm sorry, Montel Jackson. Michael Jordan comes up later. Wink. He's on a 3-fight win streak, second fastest Darce choke submission in U.S. history at 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's the fight we got coming up. Everybody, get excited. Let's do this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Brett Johns was on a Polaris. I'm going to have to go double check that out. Let's see what he's been up to. Brett Johns. Let's see what he's been going on with thus far in. We've got a few things to go over. First, Tony Gravely is a win for one Brett Johns, his last fight. He has a loss to Pedro Munoz, who's a beast, and he has a loss to Aljamain Sterling, who also beast. What's up, Squares? Good to see you joining us this evening. He's got wins over Joe Soto, Albert Morales. That's where I remember him from. Definitely. That was a good fight with Brett. Quan Ho Kwok, among others. So yes, I do remember him fighting Albert Morales. He won that one by unanimous decision. He's pretty good. He is known as the Pikey. And he's actually in 3 divisions: lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight, black belt in judo, brown belt in Muay Thai, and a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Total wins at 16, 2 losses. And those 2 losses are by decision. Meanwhile, going over to one Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson, he's been somebody that we've talked a little bit about on the show, A Verbal Tap. Both of these gents born in 1992, so of same age. Now it's just going to come down to maybe some qualifiers. Montel actually lost to Ricky Simon, or Simone, friend of the show. We're actually at 444. Both these gentlemen are standing up. He is the one that got a submission win over Brian Kelleher, a Darce. I believe that's the one they talked about at minute 140, and that was at the Inglewood Forum here in California. So 4:28 on the clock for both of these gentlemen. Excited to see how this one's going to play out. Please feel free to drop us some lines in our questions and comment sections, as we are actually going to run out of time here on this version of the Instagram. But do not fear, we're going to come right back and we're going to keep this party going as soon as the Instagram runs out of speed. So we're going to end the Instagram telecast. We'll likely put up another stream right in just a second. So don't go anywhere. Don't make yourselves uncomfortable. Stick around as we watch Brent Johns put one Montel Jackson up against the cage. Too many people. Montel Jordan Jackson. Oh, nice trip in reverse by Jackson over here. Now he's pushing Johns up against the cage, trying to sink him in ever so slightly. I've got a minute 13 left here, so I'm going to take you guys for as long as I can before I have to end the stream on this one. Woo! And now a nice secondary reversal. Johns gets back up to his feet, pushes Jackson up against the cage. Jackson trying to grab like a Kimura grip. It's not really the right way to do it. Somebody messaged me, so I'm going to try and get you back because you sent it to me on a message on Instagram. So I'm just going to keep an idea. Great takedown by Johns, as I've only got 35 seconds on the Instagram. So I'm going to kill this. Thank you guys for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a little bit. Boom. All right, the party doesn't stop for you guys, though. Very excited that you're joining us. Hope you're having a great day. These are for our friends who are sticking through, our diehards, our ride-hards, our try-hards, whatever you want to call it. We begin our coverage. Boom. That is put up. 2:21 left to go in the first round. Nice job by Brent thus far in. His hooks and his ability to force and impose his game is very, very solid thus far in. Jackson is a little debilitated in this one. Beautiful force, like a duck under. Has the back, tries to look for the hooks, doesn't quite get it at all. So now he's going to look to impose a couple knees over on this side. Johns, again, they detach, and when he comes back in, immediately he's looking for some strikes. Ooh, Jackson does a good job, knocks him down. Johns is trying, he's a little hurt here. He can't really block these shots, so he's having to try and use his guard to maybe give him some time to recover. Goes up to high guard, nothing much here. Jackson is a little more neutralized as he puts his arm for a little bit of protection underneath. When we get to the end of the round, I'm actually going to switch out my I'm going to switch out my my note here, or my phone, to recharge, take on over my iPad, which hopefully is charged within this past hour and change. Hopefully that's what's going on there. Jesus. And again, don't be afraid to give us some questions, comments, hints, concerns, allegations, as we are likely going into a second round in just 20 seconds. However, Jackson has really made a statement here. Ooh, nice armbar attempt by Johns. Brett Johns, for a split second, looked like he had Jackson in a little bit of trouble, but fortunately, Jackson was able to just slip out of it. We will go to that second round in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. All right. While that happens, switch out this. All right. Everybody goes over to attend to Brent, who they're probably saying maybe in the next round, do not try to get cracked in the face. That would be helpful to us and our cause. I'm also going to make sure, hey, what's up? Thank you guys for giving us some likes. I love seeing those. You know, obviously these are fun things to do, but they're only as fun as the fun you guys are having. So y'all are our fans, y'all are our family, y'all are just great is really what it comes down to. So don't go anywhere. Give us more love. Give us some more shares. We're going to be here all night. This is just the beginning, everybody. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. We're going to go and switch to another broadcast on Instagram, so that way we can keep the momentum going, my friends. I want to make sure y'all are watching along with us and having fun. It's a great night for grappling. It's a great night for fighting. My hair is all over the place because it's weird. It looks even weirder on this one, so I'll be entertained to see, I guess, that footage later. Ugh. All right, 440 right now on my screen as Brett Johns goes back to the well of just trying to push up Montel Jackson up against the cage. Let's go to a live telecast. We're going to go to UFC Fight Island 2 Prelims Part 2. Boom. And we're going live right now. Back on Instagram. Nice knee from one Montel Jackson. Hey, what's up, everybody? Your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast for Rafa Sparsa. Keeping things going. We are watching prelims on UFC Fight Island Dose. Glad you could be joining us. If you're just joining us right now, pull up a beer, pull up a chair, and relax. There's a lot of fights tonight. We're not even through the prelims yet, so we're going to be continuously bringing you more and more coverage throughout the evening. And now Brett Johns is just, oh my God, almost carrying him entirely. It's the second round of 3 for their fight together. And if he learned anything in that first, is that he can't give Jackson any opportunity to try and get some distance from him. He has to stay on him the whole time. He literally just left that pressure for just a half second and ended up taking some brutal punishment. Could have stopped the fight right then and there. Fortunately, he was able to re-guard and put Jackson in the guard and chill there for a few minutes. But all things considered, it looked a little shaky for Brett, who otherwise should have been winning that round up until that moment. Now the two of them have space from one another. We're going to go back to the striking, see who's getting the better of whom in there in just a second. Our thanks to everybody watching on all of our different media channels. We're trying to do our best to keep up with all the comments that we get throughout the evening, so don't feel like we're just going to ignore you throughout that. We do our best to make sure if you guys are talking to us, we talk right back to y'all. One of the beauties of doing this show is you get the opportunity to interact with our friends, interact with our fans, interact with our family. Is what we sometimes call it. I don't know what we call it. Like every time. Different audiences are different. Sometimes we get people who just didn't buy a pay-per-view and want to help and like chill out with us for a day. Good knockdown again by Jackson. It's the story of him. I mean, the hard part about this is Brett does such a good job of forcing him up against the cage, but the impact of anything that looks significant always comes to the credit of one Montel Jackson on any one of these fights. Any one of these exchanges, he seems to get the better of being able to just kind of knock him down. And then all of a sudden you see Brett do what he needs to do, is just go straight back into it. I mean, now he's got both hooks in. That's a rear naked choke. What's up, G-Baby? Good to see you, bud. He has a rear naked choke that is legitimate here. He's trying to space out the other arm. He has a body triangle, which should buy him even more time at this point now. Now, I would almost look to get rid of that grip. So I think he's trying to tell the ref that he was holding the glove, but he's mostly just holding the wrist. So it's great defense thus far in. I mean, kind of. This is I think this is more happy accident. Most people, when they have my back, aren't this slow in trying to murder, kill me. So easier said than done. Good 2-on-1 control here. He might be able to swim back on the inside here. Brett would probably do well to try and scoop him back up underneath. There's a lot of distance here, but I think he's compensating for the distance by just squeezing the shit out of the midsection here. Now he has to let go of the body triangle, and he goes back over into a traditional. This might be another triangle choke here. Nope. Posture is beautiful from Montel Jackson. Now we can say that's good defense. So now Brett might be a little tired here. He might get some for the wear. This might be a 1-1 fight. This is hard to say because that first round, Brett was doing a really good job of pushing him up against the cage. I just don't see him doing too much impact to it. Then the significant strike of that last round really goes to Jackson. However, this definitely has to be John's round for sure, even if you weren't certain about how that first round went. We'll see. Woo, speaking of body triangles, jiu-jitsu overtime. It's a thing. Watch it or don't. I mean, really, what else are you going to watch tomorrow? Just like seriously ask yourself, what else is on TV that you're like, oh no, I'm busy? It's like, no, bro. They already premiered a Charlize Theron action thriller on Netflix earlier this week. Nothing else happening. Literally nothing else. That was the only thing we get. And you know what I hate about, like, on HBO, they always premiere a new movie every Saturday. I'm starting to think like that's going to end soon. Like, we're just running out of movies that are in the can. And soon HBO is going to start looking around and going, coming up this week, some outtakes from The Land Before Time. Watch as Littlefoot get stuck in a tar pit. Shit. Listen, dude, these were never meant to be released. It's all we got until the Snyder Cut. What's up, Cyberchuck 2.0? What makes you Cyberchuck? I don't understand. 2.0 especially. Second round up right now. Third round for Johns and Jackson. Let's see how this one plays out, my friends. How do you guys have it scored? Do you have it scored like me with one apiece? Significant strikes. Jackson is ahead 23-5 for Johns. So I feel like Jackson might have. Alameda Sterling agrees with me. Thank you, Sterling. I didn't know we were going to agree on that one. But yeah, one apiece. Jackson's size, posture breaks the triangle, but should be a 10-9 round. Sure. Johns takes the second round, and it's 19-19 after 2. That's what we got going on thus far in. Not bad. Johns goes back to the well, in on a single, pushing the head up against. So I like this. 19-19 or 20-20, depending on Johns' quarter. I guess something was said in between that just didn't make mathematical sense. So wouldn't be the first or the last time. Continuous pressure against the cage from Johns. Pushing. He's probably going to reverse this if he's smart and wants that takedown, but I don't think he wants to let any part of Jackson have any control. Great wrist control here by one Johns, who was complaining earlier about maybe the wrist control. I'm sorry, that was actually Jackson that was complaining about the wrist control with the body triangle. Not much here. This is all pretty pro forma. If Johns is expecting to win this one, he wants to do it in the most boring way possible. Nice takedown. See, I was saying that to encourage you, Brett. So you're welcome. Staying on him, pushing him up against the cage. Well, I don't like to basically say things before they don't happen, but it's looking like I will not be toasting anybody on this particular fight. What's up, DM987? John's still trying to use the cage to the best of his advantage. Jackson, for a split second, thought maybe I should try and punch him to the stomach with little force. Now you see Johns get a takedown and is just continuing to stay on him. As not great as this is, it does force Jackson to not be able to hit him, which is really kind of, I guess, what you need if you're trying to eke out a decision here. And maybe, especially if you got cracked in that first round, you probably want to make sure you don't get cracked again. So it's not the worst strategy in the world. It's just not the most exciting one, if we're being honest. Nope. 136 left to go, third round. Jackson misses with a straight left. However, Johns comes in with a nice elbow. That's one of the first like super solid strikes that I've seen from him. His nose looks a little busted. Not super crazy. Here, Jackson's doing a much better job on the defense. Almost blocked part of this single leg takedown. And now he's seeing one Johns start to take his back. He's not really to take advantage of it just yet. This is going to be terrible to watch because you do get the impression that Johns is going to win this fight. Johns is 8 for 19 on his takedowns. Oh, no. Montel Jackson is in a weird kind of guillotine, not guillotine. This doesn't look super tight, but it's just at least control. It's just slipping out of the time. Johns is doing a better job of trying to finish it. Oh, switches it, loses it, more to a front headlock. Now the two of them are back standing up, and Johns is back to using the cage as a blockage. That'll be all she writes on this one. 3 rounds in, 3 rounds out. Boom. Hope you were excited by that one because it was, it had a couple flourishes. I will give it that. Had a couple moments where I said that wasn't bad. And Jackson is very tired, and I understand. Having someone carry you or basically put their weight on you against the cage can be very tiring. So totally understand that world. All right, let us get to the end of that one as we say some hellos, some congratulations, some fun niceties to our friends and family. What's up, Alex? Good to see you, bud. How are you doing, sir? I saw they wrote some nice things about you in a publication recently. That's got to be pretty dope. I also see you putting up photos. I saw some stuff from you this week on my news feed. It told me, hey, Alex is up to stuff. And I said, good for him. I hope he is well. It also reminded me you were here 4 years ago, and that made me immensely sad. It was just like, damn, has it been 4 years since he's been here? Damn, son, it's been too long. Eesh. All right, official decision coming as they fade out for no reason. I guess they weren't done with commercials. Nope, some outside take, promote Whitaker and Till, which, by the way, when we asked people, are they excited for any fights this weekend? They said Whitaker, Till, and I was like, bro, that's next week. Like, calm down, fam. It's not there yet. We're doing that one next week. Eesh. All right, let's go to the official decision. And here, Brent Johns win by super boringness. 29-28. All 3 judges. The Pikey picks it up. I don't feel they're going to talk to him to keep things going. Yeah, okay, on this one, Montel had 28 significant strikes, 1 knockdown. There were takedowns. There was 2 takedowns by Montel, which I guess that kind of makes sense. The control time was actually a lot more similar than people might have thought. But I think we're just talking about how much time he had him busted up against the cage. It was just so boring. That work from guard and the rear naked choke were honestly the 2 best parts of that fight. But yeah, I don't foresee them talking to anybody after this fight, but in the event that they do, I guess I can give you the summarization of that, but let's go ahead and take off the branding. Oh, he's going to speak to him. I didn't know that. Here we go. They're talking about John's switching up camps. Says everything's been fantastic. He's apologizing for giving a shit performance. He says, much respect to Jackson. His strength was incredible. Says he never felt anything like that before. I mean, again, dude, we understand it wasn't the most exciting. What's up, Heather? It wasn't the most exciting of fights, but, like, you did what you needed to do to get it done, dude. Paul's asking about the adjustments that were made. He says, you know, sometimes you come into these fights, you get dropped once or twice, and then, you know, shit happens, dude. Hey, I get it, man. Nobody hates you on it. It's just, it's rough. He's given props to the UFC for putting on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And he says he's going home a happy guy. Paul Felder is now speaking to him in his secret ginger language, which, boring. Eesh. All right, coming up next is Joseph Duffy versus Joel Alvarez. So that is the next fight that we have on the queue. Don't go anywhere. Relax yourself. Get comfortable. Do whatever it is you need to do. We're keeping this party going. This is going to be, I think, we got 3 more prelims before we get to the main card. There's 5 fights on the main card. So, again, Joseph Duffy, Joseph Alvarez, that one's coming up next. I'm actually going to message a buddy and tell them that I feel bad that I gave him this. I'm not going to suggest this one gets drank super well. Like, again, I bought this for me and a buddy, and I gave him one of them. And I'm not super enthused by this one. The Georgia Special chocolate banana walnut stout. I'm disappointed. I owe you another one. Boom. Hey, what's up, Blanca? Good to see you. I hope you were feeling better. Be interesting to see tomorrow's Jiu-Jitsu overtime event. It'll be interesting. It's one of the few ones that I'm not there covering live. But happy to see that they're going to, have an event for the kids. It'll be the best game show for Jiu-Jitsu yet. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's like Jiu-Jitsu game show. So that's what we're doing. I hope that you guys are also enjoying the fights. I will not be there as well. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a bummer. I just always like being there if I can be there. It's just a weird time. Plus, like, who knows what live events are going to look like right now. There are some events that are happening and just don't care about their staffs or, you know, barely do the minimum to protect people's safety. At the very least, the criticism has been implemented well with the UFC, and we've seen them make adjustments. As kicking and screaming as Dana White might be, for the most part, they're doing like 1 billion COVID tests, and hopefully it means that the fighters are safe. And as much as people don't care about it, yeah, it's something you got to do. Ours does, yeah. Well, I mean, you're not like other places that will not be named on this show because we don't do that. But they know who they are. So, I mean, like, they know. Anyway, check in the comment section on all of our areas. Just remind people, if you give us a like and share on Facebook, we give you a cheers on air. Heather Fowler, you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, we cheers and we toast the gents and the women who fight on these cards if they get a finish within regulation, a submission, or a knockout. We've only done it once tonight. Hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more. We'll see how the rest of the night progresses, but we extend that offer to our fans who give us a like and share on Facebook because y'all be nice. And we get you guys always commenting and saying what's up. So it's just our way of saying thank you. And quite honestly, like, we're trying to cheers people because I'm trying to get rid of this drink because it's not that good. It sucks because I always want to like give props to these drinks. Like I always want to like tag the owners and say like it's great. They even come with a hashtag on here, and I was about to do a hashtag on it and be like, "This is dope." And then I tasted it. I was like, "It's okay." So that's kind of where we're at on that one. A little background information on our next fighters, just in case you are not familiar. Joseph Duffy, in case you missed the actual little promo package that they were doing here, was previously on the Ultimate Fighter GSP versus Koscheck. That's how far back he goes. He's 32 years young, fights in the lightweight and welterweight divisions, and he is fighting out of Donegal, Ireland, and black belt in Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, and a purple belt, I guess regular Jiu-Jitsu, and a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, training under Firas Zahabi. So his jiu-jitsu is going to be pretty good, even as a purple belt, I assume. He's coming off of 2 losses, James Vick and Mark Diakese, or Diakese, whatever you want to call him. He also has a loss against Dustin Poirier, but who doesn't? But he's got a win against Reza Madai and then Mitch Clark, who he was able to beat by rear naked choke. Going further down for a long time, he has a win. That's right. He's the guy who has the win over Conor McGregor. So here's the issue. When somebody's named Joseph Duffy, sometimes you just forget. You just go like, is it the same Joseph Duffy? There could be a million Irish Joseph Duffy. That's the Joseph Duffy. Back at Cage Warriors 39, back in 2010, he was the one to get an arm triangle choke on Conor McGregor. So good for this kid. Be interested. You don't have to drink. It's not a school cafeteria. The lady with the hairy mole will not put you in detention. I mean, you know what's really dumb about me, Heather, is that I see things through. I don't quit. Also, I paid for it. So, you know. I mean, the way I'm saying it is that I've tasted worse beers, but look at the things that are in here. It says chocolate, banana, walnut, stout. All of those 4 things sound delicious. But then when they don't have all of the flavor in it, I feel cheated. It just tastes like a very light version of a stout, which is fine. It's not going to kill you. It's not the worst. But like, it just feels like a little bit of a letdown. Not going to lie. I really wanted to taste the banana and the chocolate in this. Fun fact, when I got married, we got like a banana cupcake. We spent all of our time looking for these really, really cool banana cupcakes. I got to have a little taste right up top, and then I had nothing else, like literally just one bite. And then people were like, "Oh, how'd you like your cupcakes?" And I was like, "Wouldn't know. Don't know how they tasted on that day." When I did them during the tasting, they were amazing. So sad moment for me. Anyway, 443. God, don't make me depressed. Joseph Duffy, obviously in the green trunks from Ireland versus Alvarez in the black trunks with the Reebok red highlights on them. And Alvarez coming up very aggressive with his striking thus far in. Did you see the small print on the can? Bear piss. These guys are letting go on this one. I'm enjoying this this matchup thus far in. You saw Alvarez starting to come in. That was a deep kick on that. Jesus. Alvarez has some power in his kicks. And Duffy has a Taekwondo background, of course, as they're talking about on air from Felder. But that was not the first impression I had of somebody having Taekwondo power. My first thought on who has power in their kicks was watching Alvarez just be beastly with his he is a barely. What's up, Sean McCleary? Good to see you. It's a lot to take in. Good movement by Alvarez, who just kind of gets around some of those strikes from Duffy. Just stays out of the reach, backs up ever so slightly, and comes straight back in. Great to the midsection by Duffy on his endorsement on his back. I don't even know what it says. I'm going to have to get somebody good to be watching. That's what I'm saying, bro. Any day we get to watch fighting, it is a blessed day from the fight gods. Talking about the TriStar Gym experience of Joe Duffy. Hard to ignore. Sean, have you had any favorite moments of the fights thus far in? Do you need any coverage? Do you need any reminders or notes on what's happened? Ooh, decent shot in. However, if he's able to turn this, he just needs to get a little bit more on this. I need that elbow to come a little bit more up. It looks like it's a tap on this. Alvarez getting it done with a guillotine and shrugging it off like it's nothing. Wow. I don't know what he just yelled at the TV. He just yelled. Very annoying. What's up, Title BJJ? Thank you for watching. Glad you're here and joining us. Woo! That's one of those good fucking guillotines that you don't like. He still had one knee on the inside. Most people start to try and pass that knee when they get stuck there. And he wasn't even against the cage side. Unfortunately, Joe Duffy just kind of accepted the position and didn't keep moving. Fuck. It's tough too. Because, yeah, sometimes you're trying to battle the arms. You're trying to do that 2-on-1, and you almost give it up, and you almost get put straight into regular guard. It can act as a good shield and as a good sweeping opportunity for it. So far, I'm good. Thanks. No, thank you, man. Yeah, just every time you do a shot in, though, that's my nightmare. And if I'm being quite honest, it's the nightmare I try to instill on any wrestler I roll with, because I'm not trying to out wrestle them, dude. I'm too old to wrestle. Like, after COVID, I fear going back to my wrestling class. I love the beautiful work that we do in our wrestling class. It is great training. However, it's tough, dude. Oof. All right. What questions you guys got for me? We got a second before I got to do a toast. I do want to hear what he has to say. What's up? This is Muscle Munchkin. It's one of the few nicknames you don't hear too often. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Rafa Esparza, host of the Grappling Hour and Verbal Tap. We just saw a very solid guillotine choke by one Senor Joel Alvarez. All right, looks like he's going to get talking to. What's up, Nick Sizemore? Out of 17 wins, he's got a few submission wins. Good for him, dude. Like that, as he walked out, he basically threw an elbow just to a recognized friend, which is always scary if you're ever on press row and you've ever covered these things live. Yeah, I really wish he would have tried to push the leg down and pass to that right-hand side. All right, we're going to hear what he has to say on this. Second submission win in the UFC for him. Oh, right. They have to do the translations. I heard muy bien, so that means very good. Yep, very happy with the work I've been doing. And nothing feels quite like getting the win in here. Die. I think, yeah, die. Dang. So let's see what he's been doing. Dang, indeed. Hey, that's super impressive, though. He had a good crank in the neck. That was really impressive. So, I mean, I guess this makes him better than Conor McGregor if we're doing MMA math. Joe Duffy beat Conor McGregor with an arm triangle. There you go. Boom. Let me go ahead and see what else he's got. He's got the long arms. He really does. Let's see. His last wins, he had a guillotine choke on Joe Duffy this time. He had a ground and pound win. That was incorrect. Won Paul Felder over Daniel Barado. He has triangle choke, Darce choke, triangle choke, guillotine. He's got 2 guillotines. Yeah, I should probably scout that out. A triangle and another guillotine. Yeah, that's a pattern, my friends. It's about 4 guillotines on his fight record. That's not bad. Good for him. All right, let's take off that branding. We keep this train moving quite nicely. So, boom. The next fight is Grant Dawson versus Nad Narimani. All right. What does it name like Nad? I mean, I get when I call myself Raf, that's short for Rafael, but what is Nad? What's up, Elliot? We train tomorrow, sir? Let me know. Hit me up. Nad Narimani. Narimani. That's what it is. Nad. Okay. But like, what is Nad short for? Is it Nathaniel? Natty? Naddington? Don't know. Hit me with the time, dude, so I can plan it out. I got to be back here and operational for Jiu-Jitsu overtime at some point tomorrow. So let me know. Eek. Let's get some good striking. All right. I'm into that. Grant Dawson. Clean fade on his hair. His name is Smiler. I don't love that as a nickname. I am Volts. I am Groot. Good to meet you. Let me see. To our friends on Facebook, give us a like and a share. We give you a cheers. To our friends over here, give us some hearts. Give us some of these things that, tell people you like the broadcast. I'm not above buying your love, but I'm not going to buy it, though. I'm just going to tell you to do it. We always like it when you guys give us the hearts. That means, I think, just pressing this thing and saying what's good. Thus far in, I'm enjoying the fights. Biggest highlights thus far in so far to me have been obviously Amir Albiza's submission triangle choke, which, by the way, is the first triangle choke of 2020 in the UFC, according to Paul Felder, which could have fooled me. But, the more I think about it, yeah, that's true. That does make sense. So, eek. The good news is we're starting to make up for it on the back nine. We are getting a whole bunch of UFC events. This is, again, the 3rd event they've done in 7 days. Or 8 days, we can give them a little slack. But that month and a half of no UFC fights was just like, what do we even do with Saturdays anymore? But don't worry, the UFC is going to make back their ESPN money nicely. So it's for you. But it's also for their ESPN contract. So, I'm just saying they want to make that money. That's one of my favorite things about the UFC. Whenever they do these things, they're like, we do it for the fucking fans. And I'm like, you also do it for the copious amounts of money to save WME, but also for the fans. All right. Grant Dawson. Excuse me. I think I took down a bubble on that one. Going to look to see for our friends over on this side what else we've got that I could be showing you from the coverage on ESPN MMA. If you guys are watching over on YouTube or Facebook, we have photos that we're able to go ahead and put up there. She's a beast. Like when my friends laugh at my dog earlier today, she was sitting on me, heard a shopping cart, and immediately let out her deepest woof, which honestly, and I kid you not, just sounds like woof, woof. And then goes straight back to sleep. All right, here we go. 6-fight win streak for Grant Dawson. He is 11-1 takedown ratio for him. That's impressive. All right. His fade looked better in the photo. Got to slick it back. This one looks a little average on this side. Former Cage Warriors featherweight champion, 4 first-round finishes, 2 wins by knockout, and 5 by submission for Nad. Or as we'll call him on this one, Naddington. If we really want to be a dick, we'll just call him Naddington Bear. Nad is 33, 5'8", 150, reaches 70. Meanwhile, Grant Dawson, 72, 150, 5'10", and 26 years of age. A little bit on the younger side for Grant. All right. 12-3 is a good record, and you got Naddington fighting out of Bristol, England. He's the underdog on this fight. Okay. Now, as they switch on over to the other side, let's see what the record is for the other gent. This young man, the American Grant Dawson, 15-1, great record on his side. He's fighting out of Lee Summit, Missouri. He is the favorite at -240. So that means we may actually know some of the folks who are training him. So let's all discover how this one plays out together. If you got questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, feel free to give us some notes in the comment section here or over there. I'm going to share this over on our Instagram and also on our, wait for it, our Twitter. Boom. Go. 4:57. We start the fight. Nice little kick that trips up just ever so slightly. Naddington. Good kicks thus far in. Nad is switched stances a couple times on this. Ooh, for a split second, Dawson drops down. Try to get kind of like an ankle pick. Misses it, but doesn't lose too much there. Goes straight back over to some kicks to the midsection. And for whatever reason, his footwork gets a little tripped up there. And Narmani starts to take advantage of it a little bit. Every time he kind of trips up ever so slightly, you see it taken advantage over by one Naddington. Oh, shit. Grant Dawson. Whoo. Grant Dawson is now in guard. For a split second, he had like full mount, but then just got tripped up for just a moment. What's up, Gabe? Welcome back. So Nad now trying to work up to a higher guard right now. Doesn't quite have any control of any of the hands, which I'd like to see him do here. So instead, he's trying to find something to hit him with. For a split second, looks for kind of a Kimura grip. Goes to a little bit more of a half. I don't truly see Grant trying to go for a pass just yet. He just wants to be heavy on him. And he will now, as he sees Normani go over to his side, maybe try to go for a little bit of a half guard sweep, but he gets stopped right in the middle of it all. So Nad not quite out of the woods with 245, maybe tries to get a lockdown here. There's no separation. This is just mostly Grant Dawson just putting pressure on it, gets a nice elbow up top right now on the face. Back to full guard here, and the two of them just kind of unloading. Dawson in the blue trunks, Normani in the black. Just as a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share, we give you cheers on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within their fights. And you are seeing on this, Grant Dawson coming pretty close to advancing here. It's not like, it's so weird because I think he just likes being heavy on him. And I don't know that that's always the best of strategies, especially for somebody who very quickly reguards every single one of these times. Huh. Good strike, good elbow here. Now we're starting to see a little bit better passing by Grant, and I think I saw him for a split second get to full mount here. Yes, he's now just trying to take the back. I would love to see him gift wrap, but even with his grips, he's able to do it. Switches the other side, has one hook in. The other hook's a little shallow. Now is going to go to that kind of inside triangle. Now, if you are Nad, you really want to, I mean, what the fuck do I know? But I know I would be trying to get my shoulders to the mat here. And at the same time, weaving my legs underneath to try and create a little bit of balance to duck it under. What's up, Falafel House? Welcome back. That name just does nothing but make me hungry. So thanks for that as well. All right, Grant is now trying to work on a rear naked choke here. He's got some time. 32 seconds is still just enough to kind of make life a little bit miserable. But it is looking very likely that we are probably going to go to another round here in just a second. Yeah. Nad's going to get some time to recuperate and hopefully come up with a little bit better of a game plan in this second round. As we remind you guys, if you want to buy some new gear, go to No-Gi BJJ Gear. Buy yourself something nice there. Whatever you put in your cart, use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15, all one word, Grappling Hour 15. Take 15% off of whatever you put in the carts. Because guess what? We've all gained weight. I know I have. I wonder how. And the best thing to do, maybe just buy a rash guard that's a little bit up a size. I see some photos of me. I don't know about you guys. Oof. He did make it out. Dino Mutt BJJ. Yeah, Falafel, the thing about that one is I didn't know how I felt his odds would be early in the round, but I have a very big appreciation for Dawson's ability to just kind of pull him. Like literally just baby pull him into a back take. Normally I like that gift wrap to take over, Kimura grip, something grip-wise to take him. He just literally just kind of like with that kind of seatbelt grip, just literally up and maneuvered him over, which usually takes a little more strength than finesse, but he was able to control the back for a good amount of time. That's what happened. He tripped as he was trying to get a kick. When he got the trip, and he had Nettie come in, or Nad come in. That's when he came back with a flying knee. He's trying this knee continuously there. What's up, Matt Baker? Good to see you. That was tough. Agreed. I agree with your agreement. Hope you're doing well, Senor Baker. 4:43 in the second round. If you're scoring, obviously you have ground to say that Dawson had round one. So he continues with these elbows, and this last time Nettington just popped him in the face. I think he might be trying to time out that knee now. That would not be my first area of offense, especially when this dude barely keeps his balance every time he jumps for it. That kick that'll do, Pig. Good single read. Switches it back up top, gets the takedown. Now is having to try and pass guard both. His body's just over the legs, but it does look like Nad is doing a decent job of trying to maintain his guard, but he is probably going to get past here. This is probably Dawson's best attempt at passing just yet. However, Nad is moving like a madman that is trying to make sure that he doesn't fully get taken advantage of here. This is going to open up some opportunity for Grant Dawson to maybe slide through a little bit more, but instead he peppers with some shots here that might bust up Narmani ever so often on this. Yikes. These are a lot of punches to the face that I would rather not take. And he seems just fine hanging out in this half guard. He's got the right arm cupping the back, which doesn't allow Narmani to move at all. Meanwhile, when Nad gets to his side, he peppers him with shots. Now with his back flat, he's starting to take the arm out. And now is just pummeling with him to just put the pressure on. What's up, Beijing Bean? Good to see you. Now they're just going to hang here. 2:38 left to go in the second round. This is not a great place to be. Ugh. Taking this much absorbed shots is the least favorite thing. It's kind of why I'm always glad I just do jiu-jitsu. I would not do well in striking and MMA. I always make sure to tell that to my MMA friends because I let them know, listen, I know what I'm good at, and I'm vaguely good at jiu-jitsu, but I would be terrible at MMA. Bloodied up, 2 minutes left to go. Sounds like they're having a good time on the commentary team as they're just laughing and saying nonsense. I mean, I would love to see Dawson just pass here. His knee has continuously just been shallow, but the not passing keeps the hook in so that when he fucks up and gives up the back, he should be able to go ahead and continue this over. And now he's got the full body triangle. This should be problematic for Nat again. It's going to give Dawson even more time to work from the back. And this time he's trying to soften him up with a few strikes over on this way. Eek. 90 seconds to just work from this. He's in on that short choke. He's going to get a chance to regroup on it. He goes back to getting a little bit better grip. I mean, his ability to keep this position is impressive. 1 minute left to go, and now he's doing the mean guy Wagner Hocha bullshit that just, like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do in a fight. Body triangle back on. 40 seconds. This has been, I think, 7 minutes and some odd change. Forward control for Dawson is what I think the statistic just showed. Ugh. I don't know that I feel confident that he's going to get a finish, so we're probably going to go to the third round here. Ugh. Eek. 10 seconds. Yeah, all right. They're done on that round. Okay, we're going to go to a third round here. I don't know what it is you guys would be telling Nad in his corner if you were coaching him, but I can tell you this right now. He would definitely need your help. He is definitely behind on this fight. This third round is going to mean that he needs to get a finish in order to make it at the very least, if not competitive, at the very least somewhere in the realm of a possibility of winning for him. Yikes. All right. Again, we're just a few minutes away from getting to the third, but then when we get to the third, we got one more fight, and then we go to the main card. So just to fill you in on how this works, we will cut this stream off on our YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and our Twitch pages. When we go to the main card, we're going to bring a new broadcast. For Instagram, they only allow us an hour at a time, so we'll be doing these in and out throughout the evening. So stick with us. I'm not going anywhere. There are fights on. We're going to make the most of it. We're going to have some fun tonight. And I hope that you guys are enjoying watching along with us here as we watch hashtag UFC Fight Island Dose. Third and final round now. Uriah Faber, it appears, is giving the coaching advice to Ned and saying, you are down 2 rounds, you got to do something. Yeesh. To our Instagram friends, if you wouldn't mind doing us a solid and giving us some hearts on up on this, let us know that you're having a good time. Let the people know that you are enjoying this broadcast. It would be muchly or greatly appreciated. Muchly is not really a word, but I still will say it. And this is interesting because Narmani hasn't been winning the stand-up exchanges either. So then it becomes, all right, you didn't win the stand-up exchanges all that much. You're good at the counter when the kid jumps at you. So it's almost like you have to expose yourself to let the kid jump at you to try and have an inside in. If you go to the ground, clearly Dawson's been so much more dominant there. So you have to make this a super ugly fight. And you know what? Now he's starting to time out whenever he lifts his legs. So anytime he lifts for a kick, you see him be a little bit more responsive on how he's doing this. Great kick over by Dawson. That's a low kick that goes to the inside of his leg. And now you're seeing Narmani continuously try to, he shot heavy. Speaking of shots, Dawson comes in hot, doesn't quite get the takedown. Both of them get back up. I mean, they're both clearly tired on this one, but at the very least, we're seeing the effects of, all things considered, a much better round for both of the gentlemen. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. You know, Dawson's not 100% just coasting here, but he is being clever with his distance. The kicks are good. They continuously give him some space away from any kind of flurry from Narmani. I think that's probably the way he wants to go. Again, with the knee, the continuous jumping knees by this kid. Every time I see him do that, just get worried. Just get concerned. Look at this. I'm not even doing anything to it. It just continuously just shoots up like a wave. What's up, Gio? Thank you very much for the heart. If you give us a like and a share, we give you a toast on air, my friend. And I see the heart. If you give us a share, we'll give you a toast. Speaking of guys with good guards, Gio's guard over here has improved so much, man. It's such a good guard right now. Next time you give me that much trouble, Gio, though, I am going to punch you. I'm just not even going to pass. Just punch you in the stomach. That's all. I'll pass your guard. I think that's fair. 1:32 left in this third and final round between Dawson and Narmani. Again, I mean, honestly, this is not a bad stand-up round between either of these guys. It's a lot more equal. Narmani is still down 2. Ugh. Tough fight for this guy, man. Ooh, on the inside pocket, though. Dawson gets in a serious, good combination right there. And you're seeing Narmani just his face slowly deconstruct in front of us. Oh, even now that they're so slippery, even when Dawson does make a mistake, keeps his leg up for too long. Oh, Yeah, I mean, Dawson's slips are probably the majority of Normani's takedowns at this point. Here we go. 35 seconds left of this fight. And then if he survives these 35 seconds, you've got Grant Dawson, who's going to continue his nice string of fight wins. Goes for that single, comes up above. Normani punches away, gets at the chin a couple times. And you're going to see Normani stuff a takedown by Dawson, who then reverses, puts him into the cage. 10 seconds left to go, just for good distance. See if he can get one more takedown to send him home with. And we run out of time. Respect between these gentlemen, as we will come back with an official decision on this shortly on the broadcast. But it's a good opportunity, good as opportunity as any, to say hello. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are enjoying the broadcast. It's been an interesting night of fights thus far in. These are a lot less known folks. This is one of the fight nights where we all get to learn more about these guys that we didn't know before. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the education. I know I am. I'm getting to learn a lot about guys who I normally wouldn't necessarily know off the top of my head, but it's been, all things considered, an okay night. Like I said, you're just running out of shit on Instagram and Prime and Netflix to watch, that you're just kind of like, yeah, I'll take some fights, whatever. Here we go. We're going to find out right now who ever could have won that fight. $30-26. 29-27. Lee Summit, Missouri's Grant Dawson, unsurprisingly, gets the nod on this one. Oh, yeah, he's walking out to rage, or at least they're playing him that as he walks out. The selfie, the important part of the game, as you will see Grant make his way to likely go talk with Paul Felder. So we'll hold for that, but we'll say some nice things to you guys who are watching. I appreciate you. All right, so Instagram's going to cut out after we do this interview recap, and then we'll do another Instagram post. What's up, Jack Hudson? Thank you for watching. The knees are so inconsistent. Like, that landed, but every time he tried for these knees, all he could think of was like, bro, don't lose your balance. Just gives my fucking high blood pressure more blood pressure. What's up, the dream? Steven, you gotta tell me about Brandon's his PFL or Pro Grapplers League, whatever. It looks really cool, man. Paul Felder is congratulating the kid on a dominant performance. Said he was trying to come out here for a finish. He doesn't like decisions. Paul Felder is complimenting his striking, saying you let it go out there. You did a good job with it. What's up, Brian Jensen? Give us a like and a share. You get a toast on air. We give you a cheers. Appreciate you, bro. He says if he could have, he would have smoked him out of the gate. But he wants to show that he is a full mixed martial artist. This is a featherweight bout. He's normally a featherweight fighter, but this is a catchweight. He basically is now saying that he's like Tim Elliott, where he's a company man. If he gets a call, he just goes out there and fights. And he says if the world's going to shut down, they'll be right there fighting continuously. He says 150, 155 is where he's at right now until the world goes back to normal. I guess that kind of makes sense. He continuously is flexing on the camera, which is hilarious. Oh, Paul Felder and him are having an exchange on candy. And who's going to buy whom candy? Well, that was unexpected. Did really see that one ending with being like, you taking me to the candy store? Am I taking you to the candy store? So I think we have just one more fight on the prelims before we go to the main card. So take a breather, take a moment for yourself. When they come back, it's going to be Roman Dolidze versus Kadias Ibragimov. You don't bring him off. I bring him off. Boom. So here's what's happening to you on Instagram. It is going to die, but it's going to come back. It's going to be like Jesus. It's just going to come back, resurrect, and we're going to keep doing this dance all night long. But I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves. This is the last prelim before we go to the main card. So pull up a chair, pull up a beer, and feel free to watch along with us. We're having a great time watching the prelims and soon to be main card. My name is Rafa Esparza. I'm the host of the Grappling Hour. I cannot appreciate you guys enough. Let's keep this thing going. Don't you go anywhere. And don't forget, Nogi BJJ gear. Use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15. Take 15% off of whatever you put in the cart. That's what I got for you guys. We'll see you right back in just a few seconds. You guys aren't going anywhere because your stream is not dying out. Unlike these dummies, take that, Instagram. Let me see. I always have to select like a still shot of me, and they all look stupid. Keeping it going. Post. And, of course, it is always wonderful to see friend of the show, Karen Bryant, doing the deed, getting out there, being front line and center of all things UFC. And we're already doing walkouts because they need to make sure this thing stays on time. Akitas Bringamov is already walking out. So he is the first. He is from Russia, which will be interesting to see the discrepancy between him and his opponent, one Roman Dolidze. Boom. Doing this. My buddy is putting out brisket on his fucking Instagram, which is rude because he didn't give me any.
Nowadays, fucking, it's like fighting wolves. Motherfuckers getting marked up.
Oh my god.
Drops with body shots, leg kicks, and just
an endorsement of our friend Milton. Let me see. Mike John, where are you? Tuned in. Link in our website. Refresh if it doesn't pop up. Mike John is in a super fight. Did he win? I'm up in 2 matches. Mike John with the win. Good for him. Well, I asked him on air if he won, and he didn't tell me. So this is a dummy. I'm going to have to give shit. Did he end up getting a Dragon Sleeper? Look at that. You know what? I could probably put that on air right now. Let's give him some props. This one's going out to our good pal, Mike John, as we wait for this main card to start for the prelims, or the main event of the prelims, which is always their weird way of saying shit. But let's go ahead and give some props to our good friend Mike John. You can see they call it a decapitator, but you're really supposed to call it a Dragon Sleeper. So let's see it happen. We're going to progress the forms here. All right, check this out. I just saw this while I was scrolling through. This is friend of the show, Mike John. You might have seen him a couple times ago. Look at that Dragon Sleeper. Well done. I'll send him a note off of this, but just one more time. I think they put it up one more time on this. Look at that. Body triangle-ish plus that neck crank back. Man, good for him. I'll send him some props a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to tell him he's a shitty human being because I think that's the right way to go about it. You don't want to set him up too high. Good dragon sleeper, sir. Boom. That's it. We do our best to keep our eyes and ears on just about everything here, my friends. We don't just do UFC. We keep our eyes and ears on just about everything. So here's what I got going on next. I want to make sure y'all are staying with us. Jesus Christ, that's really funny. All right, everybody. Last fight of the prelims. Let's make sure we put ourselves back on the Instagrammies. It has been a great day for grappling and fighting. My name is Rafa Esparza. I am your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster. It is a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in California. Let me see if I'm going to switch on this one. Maybe I'll do this one off of the grappling hour one. Herb. Big Herb Dean doing the deed and making sure people are getting their fight on. And we're going to start this in just a second. Pulling this off. Here we go. Checking the connection, giving us the look, and we are ready to broadcast. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza. We are continuously going live on our Instagram as well as on the main broadcasts, on our Twitter, Periscope, all of those good places, as well as our YouTube. If you are watching right now, you are watching the Loads or Dolides versus Ibrahimov. So that is what I've got happening on my side of the world. Feel free to throw questions, comments, hints, concerns, allegations at me as we are watching along. It's a nice little inside kick. You've got Dolides on the, what is this? He's doing in the black trunks right now. And then in the white trunks, you got Ibrahimov. It's an interesting approach between these two gents. I like that this has been a you see right now Delide's kind of like egging Ibrahimov to go ahead and come in on him, inviting him, saying, come at me, bro. Let's do this shit. .336 to go here. Both of them just kind of circling around. Nothing too crazy on the action thus far in. Good kick, ducks under. What's up, Jacob Choppa? Jacob, did you ever, say your last name like Schwarzenegger? It's something you should probably do. You'd be like, what's your name? Jacob Choppa. We have to get to the Choppa. If we don't get that, then we don't live. If you don't do that with your name, and I know you might have just left after I made that comment, but if you don't do that with your name, it's not my fault. Good flurry. Nice kick, although he hops ever so slightly with a check kick. Switch of stance by Delides. Once, twice. Centers back in. Bisping is saying one check like that, it tends to see if your opponent is bouncing up. It's likely they won't be kicking a ton after that for the rest of the fight. Interesting insight. Circling around. Now you see, oh, for a split second, Delides slips himself. Both of these gents slightly shadow boxing in the slow moments between them. I do appreciate the commentary team trying to make a meal out of some of this commentary. Abrimov times it out nicely on this one. He might let Delides stand back up. Yeah, Delides is a good submission grappler. This is just a confusing thing. It's like the opposite people are where they're supposed to be. The grappler is standing up, not knowing if they want to punch, and the guy who wants to strike is on the floor, pulling guard and starting to advance by butt scooting. It's a strange phenomenon, my friends. I mean, this is a slightly confusing fight. Oh! He is out, dude. Oh, man. Oh, no. Well, let's replay this. There's a finish, but let's see how it happened. Knee to the chin and down, and unprotected strikes from Turtle. Herb Dean doesn't spend much time watching it happen unfold, but the knee hurts so bad. Yeah. Don't show it again. Don't show it. Oh. Slow motion to infinity and beyond. That is going to do it for the prelims. Dominant. Beautifully done. We just always have a camera on Michael Bisping's reactions. No. The Lions has no idea what's happening, and they're having to explain it to him, and they're hugging him, and they feel bad for him, and it's rough to watch live. Yeah, dude, sit down. Like, seriously, sit the F down. You don't need to be standing up by any stretch of the imagination right now. Oh, my God. Eesh. Well, impressive things so far. We'll definitely cheers that one in just a second. What is up, Bert? I don't know if you just saw some human eat a knee to the face that is reverberated all the way from Yas Island to here in the States where it hurts my chin. Youch. Oh my God. Well, you definitely see you see him loving his victory, and with all due respect, he deserves it. So it's pretty impressive, though. And to see what ridiculous message one of my friends put up on his. Oh God. Oh God. This is ridiculous to see my friends doing their version of WWE BJJ, which is just silly. Paul Felder now talking. Oh, Roman is saying he doesn't like the way he was looked at yesterday. Yikes. Now Paul Felder is basically asking the same question that he's been asking. Like, it's literally just a perpetual cycle of, well, when do you want to get back in here? What's up, Nick Sizemore? Good to see you again. Hey, he wants to improve his English. And Paul is saying he wants to see him back in there. What's up, Manuel? Done. All right, let's do a toast to this, gentlemen, because that was oof. This cheers goes on out to Roman Delise. Dude, Nick Sizemore right now is asking me, what about that knockout? I'm going to ask you, what about that knockout? Every part of it was brutal. It hurt me. I'm still feeling my feels of watching somebody just get massacred. You knocked that guy into the next century. Like, congratulations to you. That was a massive knockout, and the first of which that we've seen here tonight. We thank you here from all of us here at the Grappling Hour. Cheers to you, sir. Nick, like, are you doing okay after that knockout? Because I feel like I got hurt on that one. Like, I'm just watching it, and when they do that replay and you see the hair stick up once he does it in the slow motion where it just like it's a lot to take in, my friends. So that's what we got. That's going to conclude the prelims portion of the UFC telecast. So for our Instagram friends, we're going to keep this party going. But for those watching on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Twitter, we are going to take a momentary break. Then it's going to come straight back on. But we have to do a separate stream for the main card because Facebook only allows you to do 4-hour streams at a time. Don't ask me. It's Zuckerberg's like fucking weird problem. But yes, Nick. Whew, my God, dude. That was so – it was so just brutally savage and just – ugh. Oh, man, that's going to haunt me in my dreams tonight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just thinking about it continuously about how there was no blockage to it. It was straight on the chin. And the worst part was that he just kept looking back. Like, when he was looking back, like, why is everybody here? Like, that's when I think I have the most nervous reaction to how all of it plays out. So, boof. Anyway, my friends. All right, let's do this. Let's close out the broadcast over here for Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and Twitter. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to come right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back in just a few seconds on those channels. Instagram, you don't go anywhere. I'm staying with you. And the way it goes is we're going to have our main card come back. When the main card is up in about 9 minutes, that's when you'll see the telecast pop back up on your screens. But until then, go grab a beer, go grab some food, maybe use a bathroom break. Whatever it is you need to do, just go do that. Come straight back here. We'll see you guys in a few seconds. Oh, it's been a great day for grappling. My name's Rafa Esparza, but I'll see you in a second.